after the tumultuous 2 years that we've had, we have something to look forward to in the heavy music calendar that I believe is going to breathe life back into our lives again. Night and Day Festival happening December 30 and 31, headlined by the one and only Parkway Drive, and this guy is back on Wall of Sound, Winston McCall!
Breathe fire back into it, buddy. Breathe some fire back into it.
Exactly. You guys are playing in a fucking castle of all places around the world, in Australia, in Ballarat. It's insane to think about.
Yeah, it's a wild. It's just a wild thing to wrap your brain around especially after this time. Like, this is the longest time I've had away from music, full stop, as far as I can remember, and then to be able to come back in Australia. New Year's Eve, Castle, like first show back from a pandemic. You only ever get one of those in your lifetime. Like, there's only ever one return from pandemic gig. So you know it's going to be absolutely mental.
It's insane to comprehend, really. Like, we've seen Parkway Drive throughout the years play the small venues, the big venues, headline Wacken, play Good Things Festival, and now this is like a brand new experience that we can essentially cross off in the Parkway Drive calendar or the bucket list of where we wanted to see you.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, that's the thing. You're only ever going to get one relaunch gig. Like, this is everything that everyone has had to deal with over these last couple of years. This is the release for it. Like, this is when the floodgates break. And for us, it's literally like just coming in and smashing it out again. I think it's really hard to describe how much you miss it, how much it's part of your soul. And then when live music disappears, you lose a part of you. And to be able to get that back, and it's like such a pivotal moment, like to be able to ring in the new year and to be able to bring some hope back and smash it in such a big way. Night and Day Festival.
And I've been saying this all year round, like, mental health struggles throughout the year. The past 2 years have been insane for the music industry and as fans, like everyone together trying to navigate our way around this pandemic. And one thing we found released before the pandemic hit was going to a heavy show and just screaming back at the bands. We, as metalheads, that's our release, that's our tension release. And since we haven't been able to do that for 2 years, we've just got all this built up anger that's just waiting to be unleashed.
Oh, dude, like, yeah. And then think about also the bands as well. Like, what we do on stage, that's us, and that's in our DNA. And to have it disconnected, like, I've literally come back right now from our first jam session back. Like, this is I've just walked back from the first time we have played live music in 2 years. And the feeling of like being in a room and screaming my guts out and having like the kick drum blowing my head off and riffs, like, Jesus Christ, there's no substitute for it. There's just no substitute whatsoever. And yeah, to like, God, we need this as much as we need anything else. That's it. And I'm so stoked to be able to experience it in Australia, like, and to be able to be at home, experience this and have us all lift ourselves up at the same time and like charge into 2022 with this, like,
because we've been so feeling for every single band that's out there, you guys especially. I mean, we'll talk about a little bit of the dampener and then, focus on the positives moving forward. But the big, massive tour you guys had around the country with Every Time I Die and Hatebreed, that had to be postponed and then cancelled. We've been waiting for, any kind of return to some sort of normalcy or a return to capacity, and we haven't seen the help from the government to get these shows back again. And a lot of these people think, oh yeah, musicians are fine, they'll get through, but heavy musicians do this without the support of mainstream help, and you have proved this evidently time and time again as the years go by. You do and got to where you were without the help of that support. And when, the government turns their backs on you guys, or everyone in the music industry for that matter, it's just so disheartening.
Oh man, it's how long's this podcast? I could about this. Yeah. It's a rough one. But at the end of the day, like, what do you expect? Like, we are in the arts industry. It's a subversive industry in the first place, and it is always the first one to have the axe taken to it. And like, it's always a bummer to see, just in general, that it is always taken for granted, no matter what. And obviously the heavy music more than anything, because man, we're the underground of the underground. But like I can't complain because we've been gifted so much over this amount of time. Like we worked our ass off for it, but at the same time, we're in a really good position. But it really does break my heart to know what this amount of time away means. Like this is going to be, would have been the death knell for so many incredible bands, so much potential lost because of the amount of time, like the time spent away and having from your craft, being able to be dedicated to it and having to go and work and survive. Some people aren't going to come back from that, which sucks. It absolutely sucks, but that's another thing why this festival is so important, why this show is so important. I look at the lineup and I look at who's playing on that and who is still kicking and who is stepping up onto this stage. And it makes me so stoked to go look at all the quality bands still in this country. Look at who have grinded and done everything they can to get through this without help. And now this is it. This is like our time. New Year's Eve.
This is a big call up. This is, jumping on stage, the big return to form for everyone. Look at the lineup. Polaris, Thy Art Is Murder, Trophy Eyes, Hellions, Void of Vision, The Beautiful Monument, The Getaway Plan, Alex Leahy. It's stacked. It's something for absolutely everyone. And that's not taking into consideration the acoustic stage and the indoor stage. So it's a big return to form and a big family reunion for the scene.
Yeah, 100%. And it just shows the quality. Like it's a really amazing showcase for the quality of Australian acts, full stop. And the fact that we can pull this together, like off the back of a pandemic, and it's going to be like the fire that everyone is going to bring emotionally to that stage. I've tried to picture it in my mind several times in the run up to this, of not only what it's going to be like for us to stand on stage, but what it's going to be like to see my friends be able to stand on stage again and be able to see the audience and what it means for everyone else. Like I've heard stories from my friends around the world of like what that first gig back feels like. The first time you hear the PA fire up and a chord ring out or a riff start or anything like that. And sorry, I'm kind of getting goosebumps talking about it, but
it's a beautiful feeling, yeah.
What it actually feels like, what that feels like for the first time. And I mean, it's one thing to imagine it, it's another thing to feel it. And like I said, we're never going to have a second shot at that first time back. So to be there, surrounded by all the people that I care about and in front of all the people that have been missing it just as much as we have, and be able to create this event is special.
It's the rebirth of Parkway Drive, and this officially kicks off a brand new year. You guys are playing at fucking midnight. When the clock strikes midnight on 2022, you guys will be playing, and it's hard to fathom this actually happening again. And, that in itself is going to be a monumental occasion, because we can piss off the last 2 years of our lives and just scream at that pivotal moment with you, with all these people around us.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a trip. It's a real trip. Like, look, it's so funny. The fact that we can even just have this conversation, we're both trying to just wrap our heads around what it actually is. That's the thing. It's just such a strange concept, but it shows how long we've been away. Like 2 years is a long time for us to not have played a gig. Up until this hit, I hadn't. It was like the first 2 months of this all going on was the longest time I'd spent in one place for 17 years. And all of a sudden we're 2 years down the track and we haven't played a gig, and we were used to doing something at least once a month, and all of a sudden it was just shut off. And you fully disconnected from it, and all of a sudden it's coming rushing back. But I'm 2 years older than I thought I'd be.
Exactly. You're a lot more mature. You're a lot more ready for what the future holds.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Like, we haven't been slack in the time. Like, been working my ass off to be as fit as I can be. So we come back stronger, and we come back harder, and we come back hungrier. Like, that's the thing. It's not like any of us we're like, all right, this shit's done. Let's just fucking pack in the towel and hope it starts up again. We just kind of went back to the tools and just grinded and sharpened and hammered to make sure what comes out the other side of this, of Parkway 2.0, is a whole nother beast.
Well, let's get a teaser. For those who are sitting on the fence, you can get single day tickets, day 1, day 2, whatever you want to do to come see this show. when it comes to a set list, a rebirth, a return to the stage like this, like, what goes through Parkway Drive's mind when it comes to what are you going to do? What are you going to offer the fans?
Wreck it. Smash everything.
It's going to be like the end of Lord of the Rings, right? Where everyone tears down the castle.
That's completely it. I mean, when you do several years worth of touring cycles, you get into grooves and certain songs become like muscle memory and you become really attached to them. Whereas now we have zero muscle memory with it. So it's like, yo, what do we want to play? So it's a pretty even mix of like everything on. Like it's basically, we're like, what are the bangers?
Yeah, what's the celebration over the years? I mean, will we see the return of the Ball of Jeff?
I doubt that, but there's some jams that we haven't played in like 5 years plus kind of thing. And that's, it's basically just like anything that we're like, this will cause mass destruction or mass exaltation. That's what's going in the set list.
Beautiful. I love how you keep it away from us all because you don't want to spoil what you have planned because it's going to be fucking epic regardless.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Like I just played it through and it was interesting playing the set through and just going, oh shit, I don't know what they're in for. All right. I forgot that it goes this hard. There's kind of just no breaks. It's kind of like if we're playing like into midnight, there's just no breaks. Like good luck surviving this set of
the whole entire day. Yeah, you'll be there at 1 o'clock for Future Static, and then you'll be finished by like 12:15 in 2022 with Parkway Drive ending. Like it's going to be orgasmic. That's the only way to explain it.
All right, that's a very nice one. You went there, huh? You really went there.
I'm always going there. Look, we're here to party, mate. We're here to party.
Please, folks.
And look, this is Parkway Drive's only Australian show in 2022. You guys are going to be returning to the circuit in 2023. So, like, a big wrap-up before you guys go overseas and go, do the celebrations and get yourselves back out there again. So why not come down, join the celebrations and festivities at Night and Day Festival? Honestly, do we really need to sell it for anyone anymore, Winston?
Oh God, unless you want me to send out vials of my blood, like I'm not sure what else there is to convince you to come to this thing. Like if 2 years of not being able to gig and then at least having a shot at this once in a lifetime opportunity ain't going to get you to a gig, then Jesus, I feel sorry for you. But yeah, it's going to be epic. We know it's going to be epic. We'll see you there.
Absolutely. We're going to be there with bells on and actually, no, not bells. We'll get our Knights gear and everything like that. And go jousting. Honestly, Go jousting at a heavy music festival. What the fuck? Tickets are on sale right now. All you need to do is head to Destroy All Lines for more details. Single day tickets, double passes, whatever you want to do, make sure you are there at Night and Day Festival for the return of Parkway Drive and a plethora of Australia's best acts hitting the stage. Winston McCall from Parkway Drive. Once again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Cannot wait to see what you boys do.
Return of Australian heavy music. Here it comes. Pleasure's mine.